Welcome back. This is part two of Basketball in the Pandemic, BeBall Jones podcast with Nelson Haskin. In this half, we're going to be getting into the college scene and how March Madness was affected throughout the pandemic and our personal experience with it. Overall, we're talking about the updates from this year with NCAA tournament going on, the women's half of it, and a few more things, man. So I feel like you enjoyed this one. It's a good episode. Make sure you listen all the way through and stay tuned for more. Thank you.
Last year, we kind of missed out on the chance of having March Madness and everything. 'Cause like we said, it's about this time last year when the pandemic, got to jumping and everything shut down. So we missed out on the tourney and everything from last year. I think that D2 and D3 were done with their whole March Madness level thing.
No, they weren't. Nobody got to go to a national tournament last year.
Nobody?
Nobody. Because the season ends right at the end of February. Like, even our JUCO conference didn't have national tournament. So nobody had a national tournament all last year. So if you won your conference tournament and you win your conference tournament, you could automatically be in for the national tournament. And everybody else get voted in. Got to get the committee has to vote you in. So if you win your conference tournament, you just lucky, like not lucky, but congratulations.
Yeah.
But that was all you was gonna get for that. And if you got voted in, that was really like an honorable mention. At that point, it's like, oh, we would have went to the tournament, but
Yeah.
Corona. So nobody got a national tournament last year.
I thought they would have started some of them, but
Even if they did, no, actually, I remember Miles. I got a homeboy that plays for Miles College, and they team won their conference tournament and went to the national tournament and got shut down before they played the game. They was already up there though, and they had to just come back. I said, "Dang, that's gotta hurt, boy."
yeah. But I think last year, like honestly, I think last year would have been a very tough sell on having a bubble for college basketball. Like,
Nah, it's too many players. I don't think they could have figured it out in time.
yeah, that would have been a very, very, very rushed job to have that happen. So, like, honestly, from that level down, my heart goes out to every single senior and freshman. Like, imagine that being your first experience to college basketball or your last experience in college basketball, your last experience in high school basketball. That's tough, man. Like, to go out on that note where you can't even finish out your season, like, I can't imagine that, bro.
Nah, my JUCO season, we had just got put out. I told this in the first episode. We had just got put out in the semifinals of our conference tournament, and then the conference championship was the next day, and Shell State won, and the national tournament was supposed to be like the next week, and Corona shut things down like that weekend. Our last game was that Tuesday. We played Monday in the first round one, played Tuesday in the semifinals, lost. The championship was Wednesday. The national tournament was supposed to be the next week, but we all got sent home from school Saturday. So like Saturday, they announced like, hey, too much is going on, no classes. And I called my mom. I got my mom to come get me that day. I said, Mom, they talking about we ain't having classes. You come on, get me. I'm packing right now. So, and then I went home. Thinking like everybody else, think it was gonna be about 2 weeks, maybe a month. We was gonna be back. I ain't been back since. I still ain't been back. I ain't been back since, boy.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, boy. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was a tough time, man. Like, that's all I kept thinking about for a while. Like, that's a hard way to go out, man. I can't imagine like really sitting there and being like, I'm revved up for the tournament. I'm revved up for, my next chance. Like, I'm finna prove myself. So, like, people trying to go overseas, trying to get to the draft. Like, that's a chance to shine. Like, to get your name out there for real. Like,
really.
Like, how many players have we seen that went from zero to hero because of the tournament? That went from unknown, unranked, underrated to top dog because of the tournament. So that to be snatched away, that hurts, man. Like, ain't no telling who missed out on the bag because of the tournament. So that was tough to like. I don't want to say watch, but like to know that was going on. And so to fast forward to
Man.
this year, a year later, you know, NCAA got a chance to have their bubble, um, which overall I'm excited for to kind of see how this vibe goes compared to the NBA bubble as far as, how players are going to play and how they feel the effects of this. And like the difference between them is that they had the opportunity to like watch the pro players play. They had opportunity to go through basically a full regular season of this vibe and feel for to some extent of how the bubble could be, and just overall vibe of it, of just a little more level of comfort zone of dealing with everything, because it's a lot more knowns that we have now. So I'm
Right.
excited
People
and
feel a lot
interested.
more comfortable playing right now.
Yeah, it's a lot more overall comfort, like as far as us in society right now. Like we've been a full year in this. Like we have an idea of how to handle everything. You know what I mean? So um, I'm interested to see how that plays out, and I'm interested to see how both sides handle this. Men's and women's. So how do you feel
Yeah,
about it?
same. Um, we I didn't get to we didn't get to go to our conference tournament. COVID prevented us from playing some games that would have allowed us to go to the playoffs. But from the perspective of just playing in this climate, number one, my school did not have loud fans, and then so did a lot of schools, and so like we only had a 50. We were supposed to have 15 games or 16, and play all conference schedule. And then the top 4 teams in the conference go to the tournament. That was supposed to be the plan.
Mm-hmm.
So they they didn't put us in no kind of bubble in there, obviously, but they got us on this little COVID testing schedule where we got tested 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the whole team. And then and yes, they shoved the Q-tip up our nose and stuff. People always ask me that when I say that. And they be like, do they be testing y'all? And I say, yeah, they test us 3 days a week. Dang, 3 days a week? They stick that thing up y'all nose 3 days a week? I'd be like, yeah. They'd be like, dang, I couldn't do it, man. I'd be like, well, if you want your tuition paid for, you get out there and,
You want to hoop,
and
right?
get the things stuff, you'll get right.
Yeah.
But I was scared of the COVID testing too at first. Like it looked so uncomfortable, and it is uncomfortable, but it ain't nothing can't nobody do,
Yeah.
But yeah, so we tried every game was Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. That was the schedule. And so yeah, man, we did the best we could with what we had. We didn't have no fans, and then the last like 2 home games of the season, they said they gave everybody 2 tickets, basically mom and daddy. You can get your mom and daddy in the game, whatever. Mama and brother, daddy and sisters, whatever. 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody will use the ticket, you can put their ticket on their name, whatever. And then, some schools you play, they allow some fans. They allow just a certain amount of people. And, some places allow fans, and they just covered up some seats, like don't sit here, space out, whatever.
Yeah.
So every place had their own rules and their own guidelines for how they was handling things. There was one school, I ain't gonna say their names because I ain't trying to be insulting, but one school did not care about nothing. They was like, hey man, we're gonna check your temperature at the door. If you're under 100, get in there, man. Go ahead. Have you a blast. And it was a good amount of people in there. And I ain't gonna lie to you, as a player, I was a little worried. I was like, man. And this is coming from somebody who love fans. Like I love crowds, big crowds and stuff. Love that.
Yeah.
But this game, I was like, oof, it's a lot of people in here. What's going on? In a panoramic, we having this many people. So,
That's funny.
so I know it's a pandemic for anybody that listens to this. I don't want nobody thinking I count the word pandemic. That's just a joke I do. But man, I was like, there's quite a few people in here. So I got a little worried then. But as far as our school went, we didn't have fans so most of the time. And so it was strange. It was a real strange year to be a basketball player. like
Yeah.
getting tested certain times, playing games only on 2 days a week, and then not having fans. You playing, don't hear nothing but your teammates. The girls team was our only fans for the majority of our games. If it wasn't for our girls basketball team, we would not have nobody in the gym except for like the AD and then your teammates and like some other people that work in the athletic department.
Yeah.
But that's like 4 people.
Yeah.
And then so if it wasn't for the girls team being there to cheer for us, we really wouldn't have nobody for a lot of our games or for any of our games to cheer for us. So it just was a very strange year, especially for my first year here. So it was a big adjustment period doing that, but you do the best with what you got, and you roll with it. If you want to play basketball, you want to deal with it. That's how I see it. If you want to play, you'll play. So this is what we had to deal with. But we get this year eligibility back. The NCAA already established that you get this year eligibility back, even if you played. So I have 2 more years to play here at Columbus State or anywhere that I choose to play at. But as of right now, I plan to play at Columbus State. But
Yeah.
But at least I get that back. So if it wasn't for that, I'd probably be a little more upset. But at the end of the day, like I just try to look at it as we played 12 games and all before we got shut down. I just look at it as 12 games of experience before I started my real career, my real 2 years that I was supposed to get after my JUCO seasons. So we got 12 games of experience under our belt. We got the whole our whole starting 5 is returning, plus one guy off the bench. I think we'll be fine. So I look at it as just experience. We got it. We gonna roll with it next year. We're gonna get new guys in and let them come. And hopefully they come along with us and buy in. But it was a strange year, but nothing we can't handle. I say that's what I say about all of it.
Yeah.
So
if you got the opportunity to get in a tournament, man, how would you feel like the bubble would how would you feel like you would behave in a bubble? You feel like it'd be something you could do?
I think it's something I could do, but I wouldn't I'm not gonna lie to you. Like an NCAA tournament is not as long as like the NBA playoffs because like the NBA playoffs are 7-game series, so there's really no determining how long it could possibly be because it could be anywhere from a bunch of sweeps to a bunch of 7-game series, and all of a sudden we here for 3-4 months. But an NCAA tournament is like you lose and you out, so I feel like I could definitely handle that. And I play the game. I got the PS5. Whatever. I can make it work. And then as long as I can kick with my teammates can hang out with me. It's something we can do to just like relax sometimes instead of just basketball and in the room sleeping. I think I could be fine. I'd be fine. So I wish I would have got the chance to be in the tournament. I want to play in the NCAA tournament anyway, even though this is the D2 level. I know it ain't going to be on nobody's ESPN or ABC or TNT, but, everybody wants to play at the highest level. So next year, y'all look for me in Columbus State to be in the D2 national tournament after we win the PVC. So I look forward to it. I wish I could have did it this year, but, things didn't go as planned.
Yeah, man. Like, I feel like it's more natural for the NCAA to have a bubble because, like you said, it's not as long, it's not as many games, and it's like you're gonna see teams dropping out like that. You're gonna go from 100-something to 64, like every weekend. You know what's gonna happen. Every weekend, you're like it's guaranteed. So by the time it comes down to the championship game, it's like easy to filter and deal with. I think the only awkward part will be the fan part, like having fans and stuff come to the games and the number of fans and all that stuff. I feel like will be the only adjustment to have, and that's the difference between college and pro. But I feel like that's a fixable thing too. Either don't have fans, or I don't know how they figure it out, but I feel like that's the thing that can be done. And I feel like that's a more easy transition to have compared to the pro game. So I feel like I feel like overall the product would still be great because it's March Madness, man. Like there's nothing compared to that. Like I love NBA playoffs and finals, but it's a whole different vibe when you seeing
Whole different vibe.
Whole different vibe. So it's like
That
that's all.
win or go home vibe is somebody you can't replace that. You only get that in the NBA in game sevens. That's why
Yeah,
everybody love game sevens. College basketball, win or go home every night.
yeah.
So every night they all out.
Yeah, college basketball tournament is game 7 every single game.
Every night.
Every night is game 7 because, like you said, win or go home game 7 is the college basketball tournament. So it's like either I win this game in advance, I lose this game, pack my bags, go home. It's only 2 options. So that level of intensity and excitement is like only thing close to it is an NBA game 7. That's the only thing that can come close to it. But the thing about that is you can probably go a whole playoffs and not have a game 7. Like, the only thing that can probably come next level of close to it is game 1 of the finals or game 1 of the playoffs because that level of excitement is so high. You don't know what to expect. You're not sure what to do. Like,
oh man, control.
Exactly. So it's just like that's the only thing that can probably come close to it. But I feel like overall the bubble for the NCAA would be very similar to a regular tournament. So I just feel like we can't let the show go on without addressing the whole issue with women's basketball. Man. Like,
so if anybody hasn't heard or seen, recently there's been images and videos to come out showing that the NCAA tournament where the men have weight set or weight room in their whatever they are in, hotel, whatever these facilities are that they're working out in, and they have like high class weights in there, like premium, like program weights, so weight benches, weight racks, like dumbbells, everything that a team would need, at least like 10 weight racks with weights set at them and stuff like that. Whereas the women have like a set of dumbbells like sitting in the floor, and this is their weight room, and like no weight benches, no racks, no bars, no nothing, just dumbbells from what we've seen. And people have come out speaking on it, speaking out against it. Steph Curry said something about it. Sports Center spoke out about it. Not spoke out, but they shed light on it. Stuff like that. And so we just got to talk about it, man. So what do you think the reason could possibly be for this obvious slight of the women's basketball or the women's tournament?
It's just overall disrespect for the women's game in general. Like, obviously, women's sports overall is not as well respected as men's sports on any level. Like, I don't care if it's if it's a men's sport and a women's sport of it, obviously, any sport there is, women's sport is going to be seen as superior to the men's sport. Why is that? I'm not completely sure. That's not a conversation we can get into for this show, but it's just like overall just the disrespect for the game. And people keep bringing up the financial, discrepancies in that, but I feel like does that play a role? Yes, but to play that big of a role between a dumbbell tree and a full, weight room set, like, it's not that big of a difference, man. Like, if that's the case, you might as well not have the tournament if you can't afford that. Like, if that's what you're gonna sit there and provide them to maintain this product, you might as well not have the product out there at all. Like, that's basically how I feel. Like, you don't respect them enough to supply them to give you the best product possible. Why have to come out there at all? Like, that's just a slap in the face to women in general, women's basketball, and women's sports and athletics. Like, there's nothing you can say that can convince me that was a smart move or an acceptable move. Like, nothing.
Right. And the NCAA actually came out and said, they made a statement. Apparently, there's a director of women's sports at the NCAA that came out with this. I didn't know that, but they came out with this statement basically saying that it wasn't a object of money, but of space. And then the same girl who like made the video, the girl plays for Oregon right now. Same girl that made the video that like showed the discrepancy in the weight set. showed the whole facility and like the space that the men's weight room is in, their weight benches and stuff. She shows their space, and it's the same amount of space. It's like some chairs and stuff there, but like the same amount of space as the men. And I'm just like, bro. And the thing about it is, it's like we all know the differences in pay and revenue for like WNBA players and NBA players. But that happens for a reason because the WNBA doesn't make as much revenue as the NBA. Therefore, the NBA players can get paid more because the organization that they're under is $1 billion organization. So their players obviously are making millions. But the WNBA is not making that amount of revenue to pay their players that in any kind of way. So there's a reason for that. It's a monetary reason for that being that happened. But for the NCAA to not be able to pay, not be able to set up the same amount of weight racks and weight benches for men and women is crazy because there's no women's NCAA. There's not a men and women's NCAA. There's men and women athletics, but they all fall under the umbrella of the NCAA. So how is it possible that they could not? They said it wasn't an issue of money, but we saw that there was obviously enough space for something, for more than what they had. How is it possible that they could have such a huge discrepancy and something needed? Like you have to lift weights. It's part of the whole program.
Yep.
Some of them girls might lift weights every day still, or 3 days a week, something like that. Like some of their teams. So how is it even possible that they did not even account for the girls might want to lift weights? That their teams, that might be part of their workout program, that the women's teams want their girls to lift weights regularly. And so I can't wrap my head around it. It's really, like you said, there's nothing they can really say. There's no real excuse for it. It's like, it just needs to be fixed. Let's just get it fixed, please.
Yeah.
Like the tournament already is going on, literally. Like the men are playing right now. So let's and it'd be one thing if they say, all right, y'all all will use the same weights. But for them to be like, nah, this is the men's weights and this is y'all's, that's just complete disrespect. Like there's nothing here.
Yeah.
Like our rec at over here at our school got way more than they gave them. And so I don't know, man. I can't understand why they would even try that.
Yeah, I feel like everything that the women got, like we talked about, like from the weight room and weights that they got, from the lunch that they have to the the little package that they got, for making a tournament. Right. Every single thing that they got, I could have went to Walmart. I ain't got no money. I could have went to Walmart, purchased that same dumbbell rack, went and got some a meal similar to that, and went and got the whole little pack. They had little string book bags, the little T-shirt. I could have got all that stuff at Walmart for like less than $300 and gave that to one of the players. Like, here you go. Like,
thank you. Congratulations on making the tournament.
Congratulations. Like, hey, you playing the tournament, right? Yeah, here you go. Congratulations, Paige. Like, what? She look at me stupid. Like, this all I get? I get to work out with this little to work out with these Walmart dumbbells, work out with this Dollar Tree string book bag, and you expect me to go perform at the best that I can with this sloppy Joe that you're trying to feed me. Like, come on, man. That's so disrespectful, man. Like,
and then what made it even worse is that in the NCAA, some of these women's teams get the attention that the men's team get.
Yep.
UConn girls get the same amount of attention as UConn boys, probably more.
More at this point.
Yeah, UConn girls get just about more attention than the UConn men's basketball team. Mississippi State girls basketball team probably get more attention than Mississippi State men's basketball team.
South
Carolina girls probably get more respect than South Carolina men. Oregon girls probably get more respect than Oregon men.
Baylor.
And Baylor, there's plenty of blue bloods in women's college basketball. So
Yep.
for them to act like they don't need the same amount of stuff or the same amount of respect is crazy. Like I can see if like women's basketball like didn't have no big names. Like men's basketball, you got your Kentuckys, you got your Dukes, you got your North Carolinas. Them teams not even in the tournament. You got women's basketball teams like Mississippi State, South Carolina, Oregon, Baylor. That all of those teams are in,
Yep.
and they not getting the same amount of respect. That's just it blows my mind. I don't know.
That's just like having NBA versus WNBA. You don't have LeBron, you don't have Clay and Steph, you don't have KD, Harden, and Kyrie in it. You don't have Kawhi. You don't have none of your faces in the league in it.
No.
But then you have the primetime WNBA players who are carrying the game. Your Candace Parkers, your Anna Taurasi's, you got your Asia Wilsons, like legit hoopers who will bust anybody's head on any given day. Sue Bird,
Really?
Stewie, like buckets. Like my Moore came back in the game, her, Aguma K, like I can keep going on and on. You got the primetime hoopers showing off for you in the WNBA bubble. But yet, the NBA locker room is ridiculously more filled. You don't have none of your faces. Like the money that you're gonna be making from that is substantially lower than you would if you had your faces in there. Like you said before, it's two different organizations, so I get that. But it's like I can't wrap my head around how that was an excusable thing to do. Like I can understand if it was like, if you had 35 benches and 35, squat racks and everything, I can understand having 35 of that compared to having 20 for the women. I can understand that to some extent, Then you can start saying about funds, we have the money to allocate to get the extra 15, the difference in that. I can understand that. But for you to sit here and have me a full, legit facility of weight room to give Walmart, Dick's Sporting Goods, Academy level of weight room. Like, bro, the coach went and said, all right, we finna go down the street to Academy Sports Goods and get y'all some weights. Like,
it's really like what they said. It looked like they set up the weights for the men. It was like, oh, okay, this look good. This will be good for them. And then somebody was like, what we gonna do for the women? And they was like, oh man, I forgot we had the women out here. We got to set up something for the women. Let's run out here to Academy Sports real quick. Get some weights set up. Came back with the little dumbbell tree. I was like, this all they had. We looked hard, man. This all they had at Academy. You try Dick's or Hibbett Sports? Nah, but this all they had at Academy though. So this is what we got. We ain't got a lot of money left over.
You said we had to set up.
Look nice though.
We ain't had time. We had to set it up by the night, so that's all we could do, man. Like,
yeah, we didn't know y'all was coming.
We bought them out of everything else, so we got to set up for the dumbbell tree over here for the women. Oh, that's funny, man. Like, I promise that sound like that's a whole skit.
That's really what it looked like. Oh, I forgot the women staying here too. I didn't know they was coming. Bro. Like,
oh damn!
I'm running into the store with me real quick.
So disrespectful, man. Like, that's funny, man. But I just hope, like, I end up seeing that. I can't remember the organizations, but they had some organization be like, yo, we can't sit here and stand by this. We're gonna sit here and support the women. We're gonna let us know how we can donate, equipment, whatever, to the organization. You had Orange Theory, I think that's what it was. They came out to the same thing, basically, like how can we, support the women and get some equipment in there. Then like either within a couple hours after that too, end up seeing, can't remember which team this was, but ended up having the TRX, which is for people that don't know what TRX is, it's a suspension training equipment where it's basically 2 straps and you have handles connected to them where you can do basically a full body workout on there, which is a great piece of equipment to have. But end up having a coach break down and explain the workouts for them just with a TRX, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they brought that with them or they went, like you said, just went out real quick and bought some. I don't know what that whole deal was, but
I never understand.
But they had that whole deal going on where they had the players just working out literally in the hotel hallway. Like they hooked it up to their door and they were working out right there in front of their room. It was like, I can't.
Because what's the point of going to the weight room? How am I gonna make my players go all the way to this weight room to lift things that like are as heavy as household items. Because like it like for anybody who hasn't seen it, there was not no like 5 pound down to like 80 pound dumbbells. That's not what we talking about. It was like 5s, 10s, 15s, 20s, 25s, and that was the extent of the weights. Like it was terrible. So why I'm gonna make my players go down here and take turns with the dumbbells? Like, no, let's get out here in this hallway or into some little open space and just do a little workout using body weight, push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, things of that nature, squats. That's gonna be the same amount of work as going down there using that.
Yep.
So you might as well just do body weight workouts. It's like there's no point in making my players go down there to witness this blatant disrespect. And they can see the men and they full weight room across the way. Like, no, I'm not gonna make my players do that. So I'm a coach.
Be like, be
Y'all
pissed
come on
off
out here into this open space.
I'll be pissed off, start throwing them little 5-plate dumbbells over there, man. Like, hey man, this is disrespectful. Whoever was in charge of this, you start seeing some dumbbells at their head. Like, I'll be pissed off, man. Like, there's nothing that can, be excused from that. So hopefully, they get this done before they start hooping, so they can actually have a quality product out there and like really get them respect that they deserve. But I think overall we have to, as a hoop community overall, we have to put more respect on the women's game. Like that's point blank period. Like that's just a microcosm of what they've been dealing with for years. Like this isn't anything new to them at this point, and we have to do better overall to like support them and not like basically do what the NCAA did and belittle them and disrespect them, like play them to the left, like they just don't deserve that respect for whatever reason. Like that's just wild to me. But I think overall, especially the men, we have to do a better job with like respecting the women. And I forgot who said it, but one of the women came out and it was like, why are we trying to appease and like please basically men that aren't even watching the game to even understand like how great we are, the dynamics of it and all this stuff. And it's like, that makes sense. Like, so like overall, man, like a lot of people speaking out against it, but you're not even watching the game to really understand who these players are, how great they are. And it's just wild, man. Like, and that's one thing I think that was actually needed. Just like we talked about with everything else with the bubble and the pandemic. Like that was a needed thing to shed light on women's basketball, college basketball specifically. So as much as that's a frustrating and confusing thing, I feel like just like everything else, like the whole thing with Corona and everything else, that was a needed thing to add exposure to what needed to be exposed. So hopefully, moving forward, it can be some changes done. But that was just wild, man, to witness that and to be like, that really happened. Like that wasn't some skit. That wasn't some made up.
And it almost really did look like something funny, like a funny video or something. It was almost like comedic, like, but it was real life.
And that was terrible, man. So hopefully they get some respect put on their name. I hope they ball out, man. They have a great year. I'm trying to do my thing, my part to watch the tournament overall. Because, like we said, ain't nothing like March Madness. Ain't nothing like that. So, gotta watch that, man. But putting it back on you right now, man, how would you feel like, you can go as a player or as a person, like how's this whole Corona situation affected you, man? Like how's this played a role with your life?
Well, basketball-wise, it was kind of tough early on not being able to work out or getting over the gym, but that only lasted for a couple weeks. I kind of had to, make connections and talk to people and try to get in my local gym. The guy that runs our local gym at Theo, guys who watched the first episode know what Theo is. Yep. He started letting me in to hoop by myself. I wasn't running pickup in there or nothing, just let me work out. And then guys had to hit me up about hoop sessions. I had to get to know people. Like, man, where the hoop sessions at? If y'all hooping, let me know. Find me on anything. Here's my number. Like, if y'all hoop, tell me. Y'all put in some group chats, everything. Like, if y'all hoop, let me know. So that was pandemic basketball for a while. Like, hey man, if y'all hooping in any place, outside, gym, let me know. Cause I gotta get runs in. I can't just be working on moves with nobody. So I had to do that out here risking my life, risking corona to hoop. But thankfully I never caught it that I know of. So
Yeah.
And then I told you about the season. The season was kind of weird. It was rough, and then it ended in a bad way. But this will exemplify the pandemic basketball and right here. Our first game was supposed to be against the University of Georgia, UGA.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's a SEC school, D1, big D1, high major. That was supposed to be our first game in the exhibition. And we D2, so this is a big deal to us. Like we get to play a big name, high major school, D1 school on TV. Was supposed to be on you was gonna be able to find it on the ESPN app. I think it was gonna actually be on like ESPN2 or something like that, some ESPN channel. But it was gonna be possible for you to watch it on your TV. Let's just say that. We get COVID testing 3 times before the game Saturday. Just before we got in the rhythm of doing it 3 times a week. So this was the first time we actually tested 3 times in a week. And these were like PCR tests, meaning they were getting sent to a lab, right? So it wasn't the rapid test that you can just get at a clinic or somewhere where they just do it and then you'll find out your results like 15, 20 minutes later. It wasn't that. These were tests they had to get sent to a lab, and it took like 2 days to come back, or like a day and a half. So we take the PCR test. We take the test on Friday. We play Saturday. The tests don't come back in time for us to leave, so we just go ahead and leave because if we don't, they're gonna hold up the game. And if the tests never come back, we just weren't gonna play. Like the test was to come back later than the game starting time, we just wasn't gonna play. Cause I think we was gonna start at 2. The game was supposed to play. We were supposed to play at 2, but the test ain't came back yet. So we just waited. We waited as long as we could, but then we had to get on the bus and go. And so we just was not going to play until we actually got the message that we was all negative. We on the bus headed down there. I'm on the bus, headphones on, chilling, listening to music, getting in my zone. Everybody excited to play. We finally going to play a game. This is in December now. So we ain't played a game all year yet. This just happened in December.
Yep.
All of a sudden, the bus turned into a Publix, like a Publix parking lot. I'm like, that's weird. Like, why are we stopping at a Publix? It's not weird for the bus to stop somewhere, but usually we'll stop at a rest stop or at a gas station. So we stop at a Publix. I'm like, that's weird. Like, what's going on? We finna stop and get snacks. Like, what's happening? So I stood up in my seat, like, okay, he probably finna tell us something or like tell us what's going on. Coach get on the intercom of the bus. Say, guys, unfortunately, the test came back from the lab, and we have a positive COVID test, and we're not gonna be able to play today. So we're gonna have to turn the bus around and head back to campus. Everybody put your mask on, and just stay calm. And there's no big. It's like everything gonna be all right, but we're gonna have to turn the bus around and head back to school. And so that was it. We halfway to school, really was almost there. Like I think we'd have been there like 20, 30 more minutes. We would have been at the school. And we had to turn around, go back. And this is the first time I've ever been playing a game, headed through a game and had to turn the bus around. I've never had this happen. And so coach said that you can see the air just leave the bus. Like it got like what? People, we was upset, boy. Cause everybody was so excited. We all up and ready to play. We finally finna play. Not only we finally finna play, but we also finna play a big name school. We finna have an actual like high major team players. So it's not just like a little regular exhibition. We'd have been happy to play anybody, but just because we actually playing a big name school, now it's times 10. Everybody's super excited. And then like that. It was taken away from us for no reason, for no fault of our own. We all of a sudden we was not playing no more.
Yeah,
People was mad, guys were sick, cussing, mad, everything. I said, me being myself, when I get mad, I kind of just don't talk. So
Yep.
I put the headphones back on. I put my hood on. I just laid back down. I ain't say nothing to nobody. I was like, man, maybe I go to sleep, wake up, and realize I was just dreaming or something. Like maybe this is a bad dream. I'm gonna wake up, be ready to play.
Yeah.
Man, that was not the case. I woke up about 30 minutes later, looked around. I see guys still mad, yelling, griping. Not yelling, but like just complaining to each other, mad about everything. Oh boy, it was a bad day, boy. My mama was coming to the game. My mama was on the way to Athens, Georgia, from Demopolis, Alabama. So that wasn't no little ride.
Yep.
She was already almost there too. Everything just terrible. I had people ready to watch the game. I had been posting on social. Everybody on the team posting on social media. Hey, tune in. We play Georgia on this day. It's gonna be on this channel. You can watch on ESPN now. Everything. Man, all of a sudden we got to make phone calls, text messages, Facebook posts, Instagram posts, Snapchats, everything. Game cancel, game cancel. I don't know why. We had a positive COVID test. Game cancel, game cancel. 1 million people. We got 1 million people to text just to be like the game is canceled. And you know when something bad like that happens, you don't even want to talk about it. It's kind of like you kind of just want to leave it alone. I don't want to talk.
Yep.
But now I got 1,000 people hit me up. Why the game canceled? What happened? Who tested positive? Y'all not playing no more? Why y'all not playing? It was tough, boy. It was tough. So
yeah, I remember texting you during that time. So I remember texting you too, like trying to see what's going on.
Yeah, you texted me too. Yeah, so we turned the bus around, get back to campus. I go back to my dorm, pack my stuff. My mama came and got me about an hour later. Went back to Demopolis because we was after having a positive COVID test. You got to quarantine for 2 weeks. I was like, I'm not staying here. It's Christmas break too. This happened during Christmas break, so nobody was on campus but us. We just been on campus practicing. So there was no other students there. And I was like, I'm for sure not finna sit in my room in quarantine for 2 weeks. So I said, yeah, I'm on. Since you already up here in Georgia, just turn around, come back to Columbus, come get me. We'll go back home. And so that's what I did. I went home, quarantined in my mama's house for 2 weeks, and came back. I came back 10 days later to take another COVID test. Everybody was back negative, and we went on about our business. Practice for another couple weeks before we could play again. So
That's tough.
That was basketball in a pandemic.
That's tough, man. Like, because I remember when we were texting, I was just like, because I remember, this is my side of the story. So you text me about the game, just like, yo, playing, all right, cool. Game day call. Sitting there watching, I think it's ESPN2, ESPNU, whatever. Watching the game, waiting to come on. And like you said, it started at 2, so that's 1 o'clock our time. I was just like, all right, let's see. All right, okay. It's about this time, so I'm trying to figure this out. Like, all right, okay. It's about 1 o'clock now. Why is this in the second half, like middle of the second half, another game? I'm just like, I'm confused. Maybe they just showing highlights something, whatever. All right, cool. They just, game break, they start showing other game stuff. That's what I thought it was. All right, cool. Went away, walked away for a minute, came back. Still don't see Columbus State. Still don't see Georgia. Look at that time, like, is this late start or something? I'm like, all right. Because we had some stuff going on at the house, so I just, I couldn't sit there and watch like I wanted to, so I kept going back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
Then if I got a chance to sit down and watch, I'm like, hold on, bro. It's like maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes later. I'm like, all right, what's going on, bro? I started looking it up, the game and stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm on the right channel. It's time, right? So what's going on? I hit you up. Nah, man, the game got canceled, man. It got a test. I was like, what? Because mind it, we talked about all this before. It was like, first game of the season, then you playing Georgia, like everything you just said. So I just like,
it hurt, boy. It hurt bad.
Then it's like you done amped up all this time, all the training, all the practicing, all the stuff to build up. You thinking, okay, I'm gonna do my thing on this big stage. You're gonna come out here, we're gonna lose a draw. We're gonna give it all we got, whatever. Against Georgia, like ain't no telling what I could have did. And it all just gets swept up on you, man. Like that hurt me, knowing, the mindset y'all have for that. So That's tough, man.
So yeah, man. If anybody out there was wondering, that was basketball in the pandemic. That's sure. You never knew if you was gonna play.
Yep.
Every game was a hope. There was no guarantee you was gonna play. Not like in a normal season. Normal season was like, oh, we play such team Monday, we play this team Wednesday, this team Friday. No. Every game we took one game at a time.
Yep.
Hey, we got Clay State Wednesday. All right, everybody just be cool. We got coaches out there, don't be in everybody's face. Guys, stay out the way, wear your mask, wash your hands, all that. Like guys, coaches pleading with players, please be careful, guys. Guys, please be careful. If you want to play, I know it's parties going on. I know it's this going on. I know it's this week, this kind of day, this is what's going on. Please, guys, stay out the way. Wear your mask, everything. Yep. And we did that for the extent of our season. The guys, for the most part, at least that I know of, guys was being careful. Guys was not in parties. Guys was trying to just hang out with us for the most part. We're trying to keep it in the circle. You know, everybody still got friends when now you got to live, but guys was not really trying to be in crowds like that. For the first time, probably they ever had to do that. Yeah. Because for the betterment of the team, like I nobody wants to be the one that pops positive. And then we see you on Snapchat like at somebody's party, then you test positive the next day. Now we know like this is your fault. We not playing. Yeah. So it was a lot that came with it, man. That was basketball in the pandemic. So it wasn't fun. I hope it's over. Like as unfortunate as the season was, I hope I never have to go through another pandemic season. So, you know, with the vaccines going out now and stuff like that, I hope next year on down the line, come October, November, we'll actually have like preseason games and summer league games. Maybe we'll even get to play in the summer. Who knows? So hopefully we get the full, you know, experience. But yeah, man. So that's what it was. You know, it's over now. Yeah, we're better for the experience that we got, but I hope I never have to do it again. I'm cool on pandemic basketball.
So did you have anything else outside of like, you know what I mean, like the test and everything, the game schedule being changed, like anything else that was out the norm for you that you already didn't touch on already? Like anything else that was like awkward, or not awkward, but like a, you know, that transition period of like, okay, this is the new norm for us that we have to deal with. Anything else that you didn't touch on already?
As far as outside of basketball, or
let's just basketball for them.
Outside of that, not really, because I'm not really I mean, I like to hang out with friends and jump, but I'm not really a crowds type person, go out and party type person. I'm not that guy. So that wasn't really a bad thing for me, but at the same time, I think it was just more like a fear. You know what I'm saying? Like you always had this fear in the back of your mind. Like not even for yourself. Kind of like everybody kind of had that corona fear. Like I don't want to get corona. I want to wear my mask. I'm scared of corona. You see things on the news, people be dying, people have to be on the ventilators, stuff like that. You don't want to be that person. But for us, it was like a different fear. Like I don't want to test positive and ruin things for my team. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even thinking about yourself. Yeah. It's like, man, I don't want to test positive, then we can't play. So I think that was the only thing, man, that we had that fear in the back of our mind every day. Like, man, we might not play. We like if I'm out here being out the way. I hope these guys doing the same thing for my sake because I want to play. Mm-hmm. So it was a tough thing, man. So, but other than that, it just was a natural fear every day. Like, let me wear my mask. I don't want to test positive. Certain friends did not see me for a long time. Around here, a couple friends of mine was like, man, where you been at? I'm like, man, I've been hooping, been playing. Like, been practicing every day. I'm like, dang, bro, we ain't seen you in a while. Like, yeah, man, I know. I just been kind of out the way and stuff like that. I'm not really telling them why. I'm just like, I just kind of been out the way. We've been practicing, so I be in the room. Yeah, but really, it's just I don't know what you've been doing. I have that fear, like of you being the reason that I don't get to play basketball anymore. So I think that was the only thing, man.
That's tough, man. So I mean, like you said before, gladly, you know, you never called anything, nothing major like that happened. I know on my end too, I've been very fortunate to not have any major. I know me personally, I ain't catching nothing, like you said, as far as I know of, and nothing major happening on my end of it. I ain't have any deaths or anything from friends or family members, nothing like that. Um, for me personally, from my side of the basketball pandemic, as you know, the trainer and a little bit of coaching. Honestly, my experience probably different from probably 90% of the hoop community. You know, being that I had access to not my own gym, but like I have access to a gym like that when I wanted. So, you know, when it first I don't even remember for sure, but like when it first happened for me, it was just like, you know, I probably laid low for like a couple of days, maybe a week. But then it's like, all right, I still can get access to a gym that I know nobody's gonna be in for real, for real. Just work out how I normally do. And at the time I had a job, so I was working that job and going to that. So it was like go to my job. My job was essential employee and stuff, so I stayed working. So
Okay.
went to the gym, worked out in the morning, went to my job in the afternoon. That was probably my cycle for another week. Like basically nothing happened. And then talking to the guy at the gym that I was working with, he was we still running strong because like I said, it's private owned, so you can't really shut down a private business like that for real, for real. You know, we could do what we wanted to do, and you know, nothing really happened, you know. So we shut down maybe a couple weeks or so. And then he ended up taking his family stuff, going up there and working out. He ended up coming up there one day when I was working out, and he was, "Oh man, what's up, man?" You know, and ended up having a couple girls here and there from my teams and stuff work out. It wasn't that many, you know. It was very, very small group, probably like 3 girls, me and him, like very
Oh,
small.
he was
Group.
also a trainer.
Yeah. So, we had like 3 or 4 girls we had training for like maybe a month or so going on for that. Ended up leaving my other job and just being at the gym all the time. And then slowly as things started coming out, more information, everything, it kind of got a little bit back to the norm. And when it ended up happening for us, we had like an extended summer. So the basketball training schedule during the summer is pretty much all day, every day. You know, from the time you open up the gym to the time you want to close, you can train. And so that kind of what it pushed to for us from maybe April, sometime in April, all the way through till August, you know. So April or May, maybe all the way through August. That's basically what we had, like training all day. And then by the time you started picking back up, or when did A pick up? Maybe July, I think. We had like 2 solid months of travel ball and everything going on. Ended up having the teams come back up there and practice and stuff, and it's just nothing too different out the norm besides the shift of schedule, you know. But for me, it wasn't a drastic change of my life, man. Like training was pretty much the same thing. We didn't have any large groups or anything. It's just very small stuff. But overall, man, just very fortunate very blessed to not have anything major come up for me, man. So
Right. Same.
I can't complain about the whole situation. Like it's a little inconvenience here and there, you know, the little stuff we had this week and stuff. But overall, man, it wasn't anything that drastic of a shift like certain people had to deal with. So I was able to still do what I love to do and be able to, you know, be around basketball and have that mental escape to where it's just like I'm doing what I love to do. I get to train, get to work out a little bit when I can, when I want to, and just, you know, one of the worst of the worst that a lot of some people had, but one of the best like I was used to having. So somewhere in the
And
middle.
every day we were still blessed.
Yeah, man. So I can't complain, man. This past year has been ups and downs, just not even just the pandemic, just life in general, man. You know, that's how life is. You're gonna have your ups and downs. So but can't complain, man. It was a lot to adjust and change with, like you said, the emotional processing of it, of like, dang, how serious is it? Like, okay, it's not that serious, but people are dying from it. Okay, why aren't they dying? Why are they dying? Oh, okay, because of that. Okay, cool. I know this now. Now we know this. All right, now we know that. But just that whole emotional standpoint of it and trying to adjust to it was a big factor for me personally. And then outside of that, man, like life for me wasn't that big, but that's it, man. Like basketball pandemic for me wasn't a horror story like some people have had to deal with. So like you said, we very blessed to come out how we came out on this end of it. So did you learn anything over that time, man? Like it's been a year now. So anything that strictly the pandemic, would have taught you or anything that exposed to you within life or you specifically?
I'd say that it taught me that anything can be taken away from you.
Mm.
Like, especially like just speaking in terms of like, I mean, in general for like young people, especially like athletes, you feel like you're pretty invincible a lot of times. So, until you get hurt or until, something like that happens where you can't play the sport that you play, you feel like the sport will always be there because it always
Yeah.
has been for the most part.
Yeah.
And so unless you get, there's a possibility you might get hurt, but as long as you take care of yourself, take care of your body, take care of your grades if you're in school, your sport is always there.
Mm.
So for once in my life, the sport was not there. Like, and I had done nothing wrong. I made my grades. I wasn't hurt. I wasn't injured. I had a team. I had everything. So it wasn't like I just could not play because of my own stuff. The world took basketball away from me.
Yep.
So I couldn't play. There was no gyms. There was no hoop sessions. We go outside and play. Sometimes guys ain't into that though, But basketball was just not there for a long period of time. I didn't get into a gym I didn't get to work out my team until I came to school. Like I didn't even meet my teammates till I got up here in August. And so it just taught me that anything can be taken away from you. So don't take the game for granted. Don't take playing for granted. Don't take your coaches and your teammates for granted. Like especially younger athletes, like high school, like everybody be like, oh man, as soon as you graduate high school, they'd be like, man, now those 4 years flew by, man. Like it went by so fast. Don't take it for granted, man. You're gonna feel the same way in college. I did my 2 years at JUCO. When I left, I was like, dang, them 2 years flew by, bro. Like it's over with now. And then I signed to Columbus State, and I had to realize, like, dang, I'm not gonna even be able to play with them for a while. Then I come up here and play. We aren't playing no games till January. I'm like, dang, bro, I'm up here. We still not playing basketball. Like we practicing, but we practicing every day. Like when we gonna put on jerseys and play in front of fans?
Yeah.
So just remember, man, the game, anything could happen. Anything can be taken away from you. So play the game every day like it's your last game.
Mm.
Practice hard. Be ready to play. Be ready for your moments when they come because one day it might not be there. And it don't have to be you getting hurt for it not to be there or being cut or you not making good grades. It can be anything. So just play every day, work every day like you might not play again. And that's pretty much all I learned from it. Like when the game was gone, you'd be lost without the game sometimes. You gotta be ready to play every time you get the opportunity. Don't take this for granted. Don't go out there for no game like, this is just so and so. We gonna just chill out, there ain't nobody. We go out here. No, bro. Kill them boys every night.
Yep.
Kill them. Like if you can get off, kill. Tell your teammates, man, these boys not good. Don't let them hang with us. Kill them. Because one day it might not be no more games to kill. And you're going to think back on the days that you was playing like, man, I remember this game. I should have gave them boys 30. Give them 30. Do it. Get that double-double. Get that triple-double. Whatever you can do, get off every game. Play every game like you might not have enough. That's not saying be disrespectful, but don't take nothing for granted. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I say, very close to the same thing where it's just like the whole world had to pivot very quickly on a whole new life they had to live.
Exactly.
And that was kind of my thing that I took away from this past year, like being able to pivot, freestyle very quickly. You know what I mean? Just because I have this plan, I have these ideas, don't mean it's gonna happen. Like nobody saw like when I tell you nobody could have saw any of this coming. And so for us to have to deal with that and have to like businesses have to pivot like that. You shut down maybe a week or two, certain people, you have to, all right, what's the plan now? Basketball was taken away for us for months. Businesses were shut down for months. Like you had small businesses and people who launched their business within, the past 2 or 3 years before they even really got their feet off the ground, they're back right down to ground zero. Or before you get a chance, this is supposed to be a year for a big jump, a big growth or whatever, and it smacks you in the face to where all your planned stuff are thrown away. And this could have been a year that some players, this would be their breakout season, or it would have been a year that, they finally get exposure or they get a transfer to a new school or whatever. It's an opportunity for them that was snatched away. You know what I mean? So how can you pivot? How can you adjust quickly as possible? And it's just like being able to have a plan, have an idea, and having to pivot. And then for the most part, you got people who had to pivot again, and they just keep pivoting. Like you got a basketball right here. Just because you pivot one time don't mean I'm good to go. Now you got to keep swiveling that foot around like Kobe do, man. You keep adjusting and keep figuring the right angle. Okay, I got to get the shot off one way or another. Am I going to pass the ball? No, I ain't trying to pass. I'm Kobe. Got to take this shot. So I'm going to keep pivoting on this foot and figure out the right angle to get the shot off with. So that's the biggest thing I learned from this year, man, because just because you have plans and have these ideas, don't mean it's going to come out. Like, at least not the way you want it to. So being able to pivot and adjust as soon as possible, man, and be able to pivot as efficiently as possible. So it's just like being able to catch that little win and being like, all right, I got to freestyle this plan real quick. And that's the biggest thing it probably taught me, to where it's like now, I'm a thinker. I like to sit here and plan out. Like I got plan A, B, C, and D for pretty much anything I do. So, okay, I got plan A. If this person falls through, okay, I got this in mind. If I can do that, I got this in mind. All that, my first 15 plans got smacked down because Corona. So how can I pivot from all this plans to get the outcome I wanted to have? So it just birthed a lot of things and exposed a lot of things in people in general, and just like who's able to fight through certain things. Not to say and not to say that I want to be respectful when I say that too, because a lot of people lost a lot during this. People lost jobs, which made them lose housing, made them lose cars and stuff. So it's like having to go through that and not be able to adjust and pivot as quickly as some people want you to, like being exposed or whatever, that's a whole different situation. But as far as, the handful of us that, didn't have anything happen, you just had to pivot business, that kind of exposed certain things. All right, you say you want to hoop, but when the last time you picked up a basketball, went outside? When the last time you went and did sprints, you did some push-ups? Like, you're not a real hooper then, man, because we grew up off of hooping outside. That's nothing for us. We got a little bougie and everything. We start getting them courts, start having basketball shoes, got to put your slides on, walk into the gym, change shoes, all this little stuff. We got bougie. But it's like, I don't know if this generation, I hate to say it like this, but I don't know if the generation does that as much. You know what I mean? Like having the old goals where you got to watch out for the poles and stuff. You got to watch out for little holes and stuff on the court. You got to watch out for the bumps.
You got to know where it's at.
Got to be careful going out to the street, get the ball for a car running hit. Like
car run over the ball.
It fly up in the air or it pop. Got to worry about the creek and all the little stuff that we know about, but I don't know if all the other kids know about like that. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Man. Stuff like that is just, a rare thing.
That's one aspect that I can say I'm old in. Like kids don't want to hoop outside no more, man. I feel old when I say that. These kids today don't be wanting to hoop, man. They don't hoop outside, bro.
Yeah.
I go home to the Monopolis, man, and ain't nobody hooping. I'd be like, what's going on? No weekends went by without hoop sessions when I was younger. And in the summertime, the weekdays was hoop sessions. And then this would make me mad. I hate to go off on this tangent right here. Grown folks used to hoop at the Theo from like 1 o'clock to 3 and 3 o'clock. That's when kids that was had not graduated high school yet. That was like their rule. If you still in high school or any kind, if you still in grade school, you play from 3 to 5. But somebody like me, who was a little bit better than the kids that came at that time, but a little bit worse than the adults, I'm trying to come at one who with the grown folks.
Yeah.
So, but the thing was, I was not allowed to pick teams or get ups. Somebody had to pick me. A grown person had to pick me.
Yeah.
This was at a time where I wasn't as good as every grown person in there. So I wasn't getting picked all the time. But this, me being myself, I had to come in here where the competition was and play the grown folks. So I'm coming at one. Like, hey, bro, pick me up, man. Pick me up. Or, hey, I got you, bro. Hey, you got ups next, man. Try to pick me up, bro, please. Whatever.
Yep.
Then now I'm at a point where even before I was like this old, like when I was in high school, I was at a point where I was just as good as most of the grown people. Now don't nobody hoop no more.
Yep.
I'm like, dang, I'm actually good enough where like guys will be like, hey, Nelson, you hooping? Come on, you on my team. I was that guy now, but now people not hooping. I'll be like, bro, y'all wait till I get good at basketball till not hoop no more.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness, it blows me. These kids don't want to hoop no more, man. Hey, clip this, man. We putting this one out. Like this, what I just said. Kids don't want to hoop no more, man. And it blows my mind. Like, why? What's up? And then still want to play basketball. I'm like, bro, I used to be outside with it, man. In the heat of the summer, outside, getting black. I was hooping. Like, why y'all don't do that, bro? Y'all scared of outside? Like, y'all gotta be in somebody's gym.
Yeah.
And this ain't Birmingham we talking about where you can go to somebody's gym somewhere. This ain't Birmingham. This is Demopolis. The schools got a gym. They're not letting you in there. The Theo, who is only open for 2 hours for you to hoop, and is not open on weekends. So that means somebody not doing something on the weekends. Y'all not hooping. Y'all don't want to be good, man. Just say that, bro. Just say you don't want to be good. The kids I came up with and the guys that I played high school and stuff with, we was out here, bro. We was in here texting each other. I'm finna be at such and such court today, 3 o'clock, let's do it. Putting it on Facebook, hey, we hooping at such and such place, 3 o'clock, let's do it. And guys was out there. Sundays, grown folks used to pack out the court outside. I go home now on a Sunday, I just ride by the court just to see. It'd be 2 kids out there. I'd be like, no, ain't no way this the same town I grew up in. Like, y'all don't want to hoop, man. Y'all don't want to hoop. And I'm done, bro. I'm sorry, but y'all don't want to hoop. I'm done.
But nah, man, that's a needed statement because it's like I don't get how people be like, I want to be great in basketball, but you ain't even doing the basics of hooping outside, bro. Like, you don't have access to a gym, you can't get on the hardwood court, you don't have all these other things. But you have the most access to a trainer as anybody's possible. You got YouTube sitting right here on your phone and your laptop.
On your phone. You can look up the drills to do. I ain't have no phone for a while now. I ain't know no drills. I was outside doing what my coach said to do when I was on my own free time. Micing drills, post moves, pivoting, hook shots, stuff like that. I was doing that outside by myself. Nobody rebounded, nothing. 1 dribble pull-ups outside on a metal rim. Like, and y'all got Coach Rock, y'all got BeBall Jones on your phone telling you what to do to get better at what? Oh, I need to get better at handles. Let's see what he said. Oh, do this drill, do this drill. Now I got a workout. It's a whole workout waiting for you to look it up. And y'all don't want to do it, bro. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't. Because, man, if I could have came back to my younger self, like middle school days, and gave myself this phone, not even like the phone, like give myself a YouTube page and be like, hey, look this dude up. His name BeBall Jones. His name Coach whatever. And he got post move drills, dribbling drills, all that. When you go to Theo, if ain't nobody there, just start doing stuff like that. And I would have done it by my young age. Like, Brian, I used to go places. Sometimes I used to have events at the Theo because the Theo used to have like events and stuff. Like, they used to like a place you could rent out to do things. If there was an event at the Theo, I used to go early so I could shoot on the goal outside of the Theo. It was like a concrete court outside. I used to go early and put up shots like I had a game or something. I used to go early just to shoot. And then when some folks start showing up, I used to go inside, wipe off real quick, get the sweat off me, and just do whatever was going on.
Yeah.
And folks would be like, "Did I see you outside playing basketball before you came in here?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." Why? You knew you had to come in here. I just wanted to shoot a little bit before I came. Folks knew, bro. They knew I loved the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if guys love the game like that no more, man. I think they love what the game do for them. But that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
That's a different conversation for a different day. But that just burned me up, boy. That kills me.
But yeah, man, like this year, it exposed like who really won and who really don't, man. Like
That's exactly what it did.
it was a that purifier. Like the runs who really love the game, you're gonna make any excuse to go out there and hoop, man. Like do dribbling drills, shoot outside. Like, yeah, you want to do 2K, that's perfectly fine, man. Go outside and shoot for 1 hour.
Can't play the game all day. Guys came back from the pandemic fat. Guys came back from the pandemic out of shape. Guys came back weaker, slower, lazy.
Yep.
I came back from the pandemic. The fear of not being good enough when I came to Columbus State was enough for me because I already proved myself on the JUCO level. JUCO is over with. So I'm now signed to Columbus State Division II. This is a good conference. This is a good school and a good conference. I feared not being good enough to play. And so I put the work in. Mile times was down. Like stronger, gain weight, everything. I told my coaches, Coach, I ran a mile in under 6 today. Because they only require you to run a 6:30 here. Like that was like the time limit for everybody on the team, 6:30 for a mile. I ran it in under 6. I was like, no, mile times down. Yeah. Oh, I weighed 190 something. By the time I got up here, 200 pounds. Like, no, bro, I'm not going down. And I think that's what people didn't see in the pandemic. If you don't choose now to apply yourself and to put the work in, you're gonna go down. And somebody out there is going up. If you don't get better every day, you're getting worse.
Yep.
And guys got worse. A lot of guys did. People don't realize it because they still on teams. They still putting the jersey on and playing. But guys got worse during the pandemic. Yep. And I refuse to be one of them. I refuse to be the guy that got worse. I was like, no, bro, I'm not good enough to just take these months off and come back like it's nothing.
Yep.
I'm like, no. I'm not LeBron. Bron probably could have took them months off and came back and still been Bron. Probably would have took him a couple of days, but he would have got right.
Yep.
But me, Nelson Haskin, nah. Let's hit the track or let's go outside and put some shots up.
Yep.
I'm not doing it, bro. So, yeah, that was basketball in the pandemic showed you a lot. Who really want to be good? Who want to be successful?
Yeah. So that's how I on my end show like that, bro. That was good. So that's what on pandemic, man. That's where we're coming from. So this is the close enough of an anniversary because I don't remember the exact date or anything. I don't think it was.
I started seeing it in my memories like last week because I remember the tournament was last week. I started seeing it on my social media memories and stuff. So It's been almost a year to the day, almost like been about 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half past it, but still.
Yeah, I feel like it was probably like a week or two range where it's like it wasn't like a shutdown in one day. It was like a gradual week of slowly shutting stuff down, or 2 weeks of shutting stuff down. So I feel like we in that little phase of when it was happening. So yeah, man, that's how we're gonna wrap up the show. Wrap up this episode of Basketball on Pandemic. I like this one. This was a good one, man. So anything else I want to leave people with?
Man, hey, look. Put out the clip of me saying, go hoop outside. Somebody gonna listen to it. I guarantee you. So y'all know, man. Basketball, the title Basketball in the Pandemic. Y'all know what's going on. But that clip, I need it. Y'all don't want to be good, man. A lot of y'all want to play. Y'all don't want to be good. You know what I'm saying? So somebody gonna hear it. Y'all gonna feel me on this one.
Oh man. All right. I'll make sure you keep that in there. That's it, man. Basically a review of our last year from NBA, college basketball, and our personal lives, man. So with that being said, make sure I get outside and hoop for Nelson come and bully y'all.
Please go outside, bro.
Yeah, go outside and hoop, man. Like It's fun, man. Like that's one thing. I'm on this other side note when we kind of procrastinating this, but that's one thing I aim to do this summer, man. Like make sure I get outside even more. Like, cause like I said, last year I was able to be in the gym, but like just the health benefits of being outside in general and just like having something different, like being outside again, like that was fun. Like I did that a little bit during the quarantine, so I forgot to say that. Like I did that a little bit, went outside a little bit here and there. But overall, man, I'm planning on trying to get outside more and like get to where like I'm trying to get back in shape and everything, man. Like I ain't trying to hoop no more like that for real. But the hooper in me, like it's a part of me that has that hooper side still trying to go and work out and get in shape
Make
and
sure
all
you
this.
got it.
I still gotta have. I'm too young to lose it, man. Like I'm trying to go against. I'm trying to train college players, high school players, all this stuff. Trying to get to a point where I'm training pro players. Can't over here get my head busted in. We're going once. Like that's not acceptable, man. At this point,
I
maybe in a
feel
couple
like
of years, I could train them up to that point where you bust my head in, but it's gonna be a respectable fight. So I'm trying to get back in shape and just like get my game back up there and like just have fun with it overall, man. Go back outside and go back to the roots of how we came up with the game. So overall, man, like y'all just go put in work, man. Like don't let the pandemic or the situation that we in now slow you down. Like you said, don't take anything for granted at this point because you never know. Like we were hoping that the situations get better and the number of stuff go down, but you never know. Like it's a new COVID, quote unquote, can pop back up and take everything away again. We don't know what the next thing gonna happen. Like so, like you said, just be able to appreciate everything, take everything, not take anything for granted, and like I was saying, be able to pivot. So after you don't take anything for granted, be able to pivot when something else happens. So that's what I'll leave us out on. And that's it, man. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Another episode, another day, listening to my guy Nelson Haskin and BeBall Jones.
yes, sir.
Signing out, man. Still going strong on this podcast. Make sure that you listen to us on Spotify, Apple Play Podcasts, and YouTube for sure. We got other stuff we on too, but those are the main three really focusing on. Make sure you follow my boy Nelson Haskin on Twitter at NellyH34.
Yes,
Follow
sir.
him on Facebook. Follow me, BeBall Jones, BE Ball Jones on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. I'm trying to get everything. But follow me, man. Let me know what you think. Give us comments. Let us know what you think. If you feel like Nelson's wrong and nobody need to hoop outside no more, or you feel like the Lakers title is an asterisk beside it, or the Heat shouldn't have won, whatever. Let us know if you feel like the NCAA was right with the bubble, how you disrespected the women. Now, I will have a conversation with you about that, and I might not be as chilled and calm because I feel like that's disrespectful. But
You might want to unfollow us if you don't agree with that. Now
I
you might
don't
want to
mind losing.
go
I don't mind
sign
losing
out.
that follow. I promise y'all, I won't miss that follow. I won't miss that none of that. You just because we're gonna talk about women's sports going on for it too. So I don't care. So if you don't like that, it's perfectly fine. I don't mind losing that. But yeah, man, comment, man. Let us know what's up. Those you got some topics you want us to touch on, and you want to know about us, whatever, man. Comment, let us know. Share with a friend if you like it enough, because we're trying to grow it a little bit, trying to see where we can go. So, anything else?
That's it, man. We out of here.
All right, that's it. Signing out. Appreciate you again. See you next week.